The next question that I had come my way that I thought was kind of interesting, I'd share it with you, is from one of our young adults that goes to the church. And they were asking this question: how do I know what I should do with my life? That's a great question. And especially for me, as I have an older child now that's getting ready to launch here before too long from our house. And really what this has to do with is work. People are absolutely terrified of getting a job that they're going to hate, or being stuck in a career that's not satisfying. I mean, there's all kinds of concern about this, and people that have gotten education and then bailed from the trajectory that the education started them on. So let's tackle this question: how do I know what I should do with my life? So talking specifically of work, there are 4 spheres that I use when I am talking with young adults about kind of wrestling with purpose in life, like work purpose in life. And the first sphere I think is really important, and it is this question: what do I want to do? And this may be also worded, what do I enjoy doing? But what do I want to do? What do I enjoy doing? That's a really good question. I mean, what are the things that you enjoy to make happen? It is nice if you can have a job that pays the bills that you enjoy, but it's not the only sphere. In fact, way too many people just land on that. Pursue education, pursue everything based on what you like. But liking things is absolutely not the only thing that ought to be considered. So the other sphere that I think is really important for us to consider is not just what do I want to do, but what am I good at, right? Honestly, what am I actually good at? You may want to do something that you don't have actual talent for. That matters. Your real skill set, real advice from real people about what you really have capacity to do does matter. Yes, you can work beyond that. You can learn you can learn trades. Those things are all true. Education helps push people beyond. But in reality, what you are naturally good at does matter, and you can't cut that out completely. So if you want to be, the next American Idol singer, and you want it and you love it and you think it's great, but you don't have the gift for it, there's going to be a ton of frustration in your future, and you're not going to understand why. So what am I good at? What am I actually good at? But those aren't the only 2. Another one that I think is really important to consider would be this. So what do I want to do? What am I good at? And then absolutely you need to consider what has actual earning power. If you are good at something and you want to do it, but it has no earning power, I would call, the combination of these 2 right here, I would call a hobby. That's your hobby. That's fine. Hobbies are great. We really don't see lots of hobbies anymore. People don't talk about it, but that's functionally what it is. A hobby is what you want to do and what you are good at, the combination of those. But earning power actually matters. You need to have that conversation. It may not be fair, it may not be just, but it is real. You do have to pay the bills. So what do you want to do? What are you good at? And what has actual earning power? There is a 4th one that I talk about when I'm talking with young adults that I think is really important as well. And the 4th one is basically this. Let me get it in there real quick. And it is the spiritual. It is the spiritual, right? It's like Christ on the cross. What values, ways, what are you producing? Does it line up with what is right and good and pure, right? Does it match the fruit of the Spirit? So, just for the sheer fun of it, let's say that you want to sell drugs. Let's say that you're a good salesman, and let's say that there's great money in it. If it doesn't line up with the Word of God, it's out. So the spiritual part is absolutely a trump card. What you're pursuing, can you honor the Lord with it? Does it have any earning power? Are you good at it? And then do you want to do it? Now, all that to say, all 4 of these do matter. But the truth is, we live in a fallen world. And the reality is, you are not going to be able to fully fulfill each of these to the best of your ability, right? The spiritual one is the one we hang on tightest to. Absolutely. So when you're looking at these, I do believe that this right here is like the trump card. You do hang on to that. If you are being taken into a role that rebels or pushes against the ways of God, that is absolutely a massive problem. But beyond that, you're not going to be able to fulfill the rest of these at a level you'll probably be satisfied at. But these are the 4 things that ought to be considered. So in an ideal world, right, this overlap right here is probably going to be your hobby. Right? What am I good at? And financial. But if you don't want to do it, a lot of people land here. They go and get jobs that make them money, but they don't really like it. You're going to join the ranks of millions, billions of other people around the world, right? But the truth is, if it's possible, this right here is absolutely the sweet spot between all 4 of these. So That's what I do when I'm talking with young adults about finding work, what they should do with their life. The other thing I would say is it's not permanent. You can get into a career, try it for a number of years, and if you want to go do something different, that's okay too. Don't feel like you have to give your life away to the first thing that you try. But these four spheres ought to be considered as you're wrestling with what you should do with your life. So there you go, just some thoughts on career and work. Oh, I would say this. Heaven is the ultimate place where these are fulfilled. Here on earth, work is toil. You will not get these fully fulfilled right while you're on this planet. And the expectation that the fullest version of your work is going to be found on planet Earth right now in this fallen world is a false expectation. The fullest version of your work, fully fulfilled, is going to come in heaven. Right now, we live under the curse. Work is toil.